Black History Month is coming up here in the month of February. And so, true to form, this Board of Commissioners would like to have the opportunity to proclaim February 2024 as Black Heritage Month and encourage the people of Washington County to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies. At this juncture, I'd like to invite our Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer, Dora Perry, to come up and address this proclamation opportunity. And I see we have some guest speakers as well. So I assume that you will introduce everyone as we go forward. Thank you, Dora.
Good morning, Chair Harrington, Vice Chair Fye, and Commissioners. I'm starting with deep appreciation for you giving us the opportunity to start Black History Month celebration by reading the proclamation in this space. Thank you. For the record, my name is Dora Perry. I'm serving as your Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer. I am pleased to offer a few introductory remarks on our cultural heritage celebrations before I turn it over to our wonderful contributors to read the proclamation. I am pleased to offer Washington County Cultural Heritage Celebrations and Resources pages are an important starting point on our collective organizational engagement and learning about equity, diversity, and inclusion. During the month of January, we had about 10 volunteer staff that helped to plan, organize, and set up activities that will be coming up in February. And I hope everybody will participate because it's going to be very exciting. This is an opportunity to learn, to engage, and to I also have to mention that there were some additional staff that were not directly from the county, and that from some of the offices here that added additional work. And we partnered with the City of Hillsborough and Clean Water Services. For them, I say thanks. These cultural celebrations offer an opportunity to enter into a relationship with staff and community members who identify as Black, African, and or African American, to build trust and deepen our understanding of these diverse and growing communities in Washington County. These celebrations also create an opportunity to learn about the historic and present operation of the Black community and the community's resilience in the face of oppression, so that we can reflect on whether or not our current policies and sentiments support the well-being of the Black community to dismantle racism and white supremacy. No culture is monolithic. All cultures, ethnicities, and nationalities encompass a range of diverse life experiences and opinions. There are numerous countries and far more ethnicities included within the Black, African, and African American community. These include people who immigrated to the United States freely and those whose ancestors were forcibly forced from their own lands under the bonds of slavery. Consequently, the celebrations and resource pages may not present a comprehensive picture of the nuances or full range of opinion within any culture or subculture. However, we do know the Heritage Month committees are thoughtful about the learning opportunities they share with our Washington County community. We encourage people who may be curious about what is or is not presented, or the policy implication of what is shared this coming month in February, to reach out to us at the Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement, OEIC, OEICE, or open a dialogue with colleagues and or the planning committee. I want to thank Samsam Abdi, who is the person that from the Office of Equity and Community Engagement that has organized this, and all the members of the Black History Month County Announcement and Communications Subcommittee, who met for the past several weeks to really make this going forward to be an exciting month of activity, learning, and cultural engagement. With that, I would like to turn it over to our amazing partners here who will be also reading the proclamation, and they will be introducing themselves, starting with Folu Adeniji.
Dr. Fulu Adeni, Public Health Deputy Division Manager for Washington County. Good morning.
Jamila Osman, local writer and journalist.
Brianna Jackson, HR Manager for Learning and Development.
Proclamation. Board of Commissioners for Washington County. A proclamation in honor of Black History Month 2024. Whereas the Washington County Board of Commissioners takes pride in recognizing February 2024 as Black History Month, honoring the many notable contributions that people of African descent have made to our country. And whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people in Washington County, the state of Oregon, our nation, and the Black diaspora, whether they identify as Africans, African American, African Latino, Afro-Caribbean, or Black, and whereas we celebrate this year's Black History Month theme of African Americans and the arts, shining a light on visual and performing arts, literature, fashion, folklore, language, film, music, architecture, culinary, and other forms of cultural expression in which the African American influence has been paramount. And whereas African American artists have used art to preserve history and community memory, as well as for empowerment. And whereas artistic and cultural movements such as the New Negro, Black arts, Black Renaissance, hip-hop, and Afrofuturism have been led by people of African descent and set the standard for popular trends around the world. And
whereas, for centuries, Western intellectuals denied or minimalized the contributions of people of African descent to the arts, as well as history, even as their artistry in many genres was mimicked and or stolen, and whereas we can still see the unbroken chain of Black art production from antiquity to the present, from across the African continent, from Europe to the New World. For example, prior to the American Revolution, enslaved Africans of the Low Country began their more than 300-year tradition of making sweetgrass baskets, revealing their visual artistry via craft, and whereas the suffering of those in bondage gave birth to the spirituals, the nation's first contribution to music, and whereas blues musicians such as Robert Johnson, McKinley Muddy Waters, Morgan Field, and Riley B.B. King created and nurtured a style of music that became the bedrock for gospel, soul, rock and roll, and other still popular and evolving forms of music, including hip hop, which continues to be a pivotal force of political, social, and cultural spaces, lifting up issues such as racial violence, sexism, economic disinvestment, and whereas Black contributions to literature include works by poets like Phyllis Wheatley, essays, autobiographies, and novels by writers such as David Walker, Maria Stewart, and Octavia Butler. Black aesthetics have also manifested themselves throughout sculptures like Edmonia Lewis and Winkenji Machu, and painters like Henry O. Tanner and Lena Iris Victor. And
Whereas in the 1920s and 30s, the rise of the Black Renaissance and New Negro movement brought the Black arts to an international stage. Members of the armed forces, such as James Reese Europe, and artists such as Langston Hughes, Josephine Baker, and Louise Mailou Jones, shared Black culture and Black American aesthetics with international audiences, and Black culture began its ascent to becoming a dominant cultural movement to the world. And whereas the Afrofuturism movement has evolved over the past 30 years to define cultural and artistic productions that imagine a future for Black people without oppressive systems, and examines how Black history and knowledge intersects with technology and science. And whereas, despite these accomplishments, systemic racism persists in the United States, generating continued calls for lasting institutional and societal change so desperately needed in our country. And whereas today and every day we celebrate African Americans in the arts and encourage all people to recognize and confront systemic racism in our neighborhoods and the wider community by standing in the gap at every opportunity, bridging barriers with fearlessness and determination to fight against racism and bigotry, and improve representation of Black people, not only in the arts, but all facets of our society. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Washington County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim February 1st to February 29th, 2024 as Black History Month, and calls upon the people of Washington County to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and reflections, and to continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. That would be the end of the reading of the proclamation for the Black History Month. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. And before I ask for a motion and a second and open the floor for commission comments on this proclamation, I would like to ask a favor. As part of our ensuring that we are coming across as proud of this opportunity, and for you stepping forward, helping to plan our Black History Month events, but also in an effort to ensure that we are providing the most welcoming opportunity as possible. Might the four of you please reintroduce yourselves so that through this powerful message and your voices in bringing it forward, that we have the opportunity once again to know who you are and to hear your voice.
Thank you so much, Chair Harrington. My name is Dora Perry. I serve as the Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer for Washington County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Arrington. I am Dr. Folu Adeniyi, Public Health Deputy Division Manager for Washington County.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm Jamila Osman. I'm a local poet and journalist.
Thank you, Ms. Osman.
I'm Brianna Jackson. I am the HR Manager for Learning and Development for Washington County.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Chair, may I take the privilege of introducing Sam Abdi, who is videoing this and who is coordinating the committee and is a community engagement program coordinator. I don't want her to be left out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Ms. Angie, that you've done so. Thank you. And also, I would invite all five of you and the other team members who are making these events of Black History Month possible for all of us here at Washington County to please join the commission for a picture as well. So what I'd like to open the floor up for a motion and a second and any commission comments with regard to this powerful proclamation that has just been brought forward.
So moved, Chair Harrington.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Fye and Commissioner Treese. Are there any other comments from any commissioners? Go ahead, Commissioner Treese.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much for this presentation, the proclamation. And what I really appreciate is the work that your team has done, not just this year, but over the years that I've been here as a commissioner, to educate and to widen the experience of all of us in relationship to Black history. It's been very creative. There's been all sorts of different approaches. This year, with the inclusion of the arts and the impact that the arts have had on our entire world in relationship to what's brought forward by the Black community, I think is very, very powerful. And I just want to extend my appreciation for this different lens of looking at Black history. And I think it's impactful. I think it provides us a lot of thought-provoking ideas about how we all approach the communities that we live in. So thank you for this. It's much appreciated.
Thank you, Commissioner Treese. Go ahead, Commissioner Fye.
Thank you, Chair. Great job, team, Dora, and the rest of the team. This is my 4th year doing the proclamation for Black History Month, and every year I agree with Commissioner Treese that I learn something new, and it's always inspiring and empowering to do these proclamations for the different groups that exist in Washington County. So thank you for your great work to all of you. And I'm a girl fan of Jamila Osman, so if you don't mind me fanning over her for a little bit. Great way to recognize what a gem that you have present here. So Jamila Osman is an amazing writer and an amazing poet and a well-known journalist, and is also, just for full transparency, is also from Somalia. Born and raised in Washington County, but originally from Somalia. And Jamila, you're an amazing leader. I'm so glad you're here today doing this proclamation, and you've contributed to the greatness and the benefits and the betterment of Oregon in general. So thank you for being part of Washington County, and thank you for being here today. And I just appreciate you, and just appreciate your brain and your brilliance.
And she'll be participating in the activities coming up in February, so that's exciting.
Wonderful, thank you. I assume we're done with commissioner comments. So with that, all those in favor of adopting today's proclamation for Black History Month and encouraging members of our Washington County community to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies, please vote by raising your hand or saying aye. Thank you, commissioners. Any opposed? The proclamation motion passes unanimously on a vote of 5-0. Thank you.